Welcome everybody to the Fighting Couch Potatoes. I'm Liquid Gold Steve, and I'm joined by MattMatt.
I'm Batman.
And Kadawfi Crush.
You know you a meat man.
I know.
All the meat
I couldn't
man
think of
in the
anything
world.
else to say. I was put on the spot.
You fucking meat man.
Well, MattMatt kind of told what we were talking about today. It's Batman, but specifically Batman Arkham Asylum, a video game that came out in 2009 that broke the system in superhero video games. It was kind of the basis of everything going on further.
Nowadays, hell yeah.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
you see a lot of the Arkham games in a lot of hero games nowadays. Like,
Well, you mean Arkham, like abilities and kind
well,
of...
the open world, the collectibles, the fucking combat system. Hell,
Yeah,
the combat system translated over into a Mad Max game. Like, I'm not shitting you. Look it up.
Damn, I never played Mad Max, so
It's
you
dope.
had to...
But,
All right.
I mean, are you sure it's not the same combat system from Uncharted? I mean, you know,
No,
again,
no.
you press triangle, do the counterattack, and then you press
It's-
square and beat a nigga ass.
Well, actually,
The
Drake's-
Last of Us.
Drake's fortune, it was only punches. And Uncharted 2, it was counters, but it wasn't like that. Because, like, you didn't have the tingly system like fucking Spider-Man. His little tingle.
I mean,
or
his
yeah,
spider
because
sense.
like you
Peter's tingle.
like when you play on normal mode, like the Batman has
The little icon.
The
Yeah,
icon.
he's on his
He-
Batman sense.
he's got the tingle system. He's got the I mean, it's the
He's got the Peter tingle.
it's the same combat system from Uncharted, just
No.
without
No.
just
No.
No.
But yeah,
No.
it's like this.
The
We're telling.
hey,
Listen.
hold
Listen.
on.
I'm being your homie right now.
We're
Stop.
telling you no.
No.
Hey,
We're telling
the
you.
combat system is two different things because, like, do you see Nathan Drake doing backflips and...
Well, I mean, he's
and-
not doing backflips, but my thing is like you press triangle for the counter, and then you press square to beat the shit out of it.
He
Well,
dodges.
the combat system's more like it's more like the whole room. When you fight one person in Uncharted, it's kind of like one-on-one. You kind of see it, kind of zoom in, and the camera
I mean,
focuses
all
on two
right,
of
so
them.
it's not the same exact 100%, but I mean, quarter circle forward punch is the same as quarter circle forward punch, no matter what game you're playing.
no.
All right,
I mean,
you and me
no.
can have two different opinions.
No.
I feel like getting to it. It's Batman Arkham Asylum, and when this game came out, I was 13. No,
2009. You was 12.
I was 12.
You was 12.
I may have played it in like 2010, but
You did.
but I thought that game was fucking amazing.
What year
Just-
you said it come out?
2009.
Oh, cool. I was getting ready to have a baby.
Damn. Yeah.
No time for Batman.
They should have made time for this Batman though, because they came up with that the one with Christian Bale Batman, the Batman Begins one. That kind of was ass. And then they came out with this one.
I
No.
like Christian Bale.
I'm not saying the Christian Bale movie. I'm talking about the video game was ass. But this game came out and it was groundbreaking. They made 4 off them. We're going to be talking about the first one today.
Little bit of the other ones.
We can't talk about
We're not going to sit here and talk about Asylum and not talk about City.
No,
And-
we can talk about how they improved themselves.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So when you first pop it in, you have to pick your difficulty. And what's the only thing we picked?
Hard.
Don't lie, Matt.
Hard.
Don't lie, meat man.
It was easy when I was 12. It was easy when I was 12.
You still pick easy on your games.
No.
We know you.
No.
It might have been normal.
No.
I
It
mean,
might have been
this
normal.
time around, you picked on hard. But we know what you picked.
I at
normally.
least picked normal, but no, I don't go to kid mode.
Hey, Spider-Man, I played kid mode.
You
Fuck
damn
y'all.
right. Hey, go play Spider-Man for the PS1.
But when it pops in, you pick the difficulty, and then you start. First, it pulls you in. You got Joker in the back of the Batmobile.
He's in the passenger seat.
No, he's in the back.
He's in the passenger seat. He's sitting right next to Batman.
No, he's in the back.
He's sitting because
You can talk all that shit.
Batman doesn't need
All
to
right,
put him in the back
so-
seat.
No,
I mean, he really don't. Just like move. I dare you. I
dare
double
you.
dog
I
dare you.
Break your femurs again.
and you ride in Arkham Asylum. So you get there, and Batman's kind of a little bit confused and a little suspicious that Joker kind of let himself be taken in so quickly, or captured so quickly. So
Tooken.
like taken,
Tooken.
except tooken.
He took him.
Liam Neeson showed up too, guys.
I have particular set of skills.
But you walk in to Arkham Asylum, and slowest Batman walk I've ever seen in my life.
That was a really cool part of it. Was like you walk him in the front door, right? And immediately goes into, they put him on the fucking gurney and they're walking through, and like you get a lot of little shit throughout the just walking into a test of treatment. You see Killer Croc. That's not little, but you know, he's around here. You get to see like
one of your boss fights. You get pretty much
really like
it's kind of like an eyeing him up for a battle. Like
seriously, yeah, but it shows you like the environment that you're in, how shit works around here. Because even if watching like Batman media, watching the movies, reading the comics, like you see Arkham Asylum, you see inside of it, but you don't know what their process is like trying to pull people in, or not pull people in, but what'd be the word for it? Processing prisoners, right? You have them walk through the front door, go down even deeper, get examined by a doctor, check them for weapons, all that shit. Because
Arkham Asylum is kind of like the big boy house, and then they have Blackgate, which is like little petty thieves and stuff, and then you have like Two-Face and Clayface and Scarecrow all locked up in there.
Can I talk about plot hole real quick in the entirety of the Batman universe?
Before you do, I'd actually so this was my first time playing Arkham Asylum. Like we stated earlier, I played City before. I never played Asylum. So, like, getting to that first opening scene where he's got Joker all tied up and, you know, we're going through that processing lab. You're absolutely right. I mean, there was a lot of great little insights and details that they did into that. I mean, one thing that I always think when I see the inside of Arkham is, like, how the fuck is this place still running? Like, what government has walked in here and been like, perfect.
Gotham City.
Gotham City's a shithole.
And you just gotta wonder, like, how the fuck, who's protecting this piece of shit anyway?
They got a really bad city, good street.
It's such a shitty city, they don't have a superhero with powers.
They don't need them.
It's just,
they just have they got a broken billionaire.
They motherfucker got super.
They have an orphan monsters. With a trust fund. Don't fucking sugarcoat it.
With a fucked up head.
A literal fucking ninja.
He dresses up like a bat because he wants to cover his human bat ears.
Get the fuck.
He's got a deformity. Sorry, you guys. We have to tell you. Spoilers.
Spoilers for Batman, a character who's been around since 1939.
But yeah, you see him get all checked in, and they kind of do have like small things. It's like how you like they show a guy that works with Joker later on, Frank Bowles, and then they show Killer Croc. They talk about how the Blackgate had a mysterious fire,
right?
With how Joker's all of his people
all come to Arkham just in time
that night too,
right? And it's like, you know, he mentioned the Joker multiple times, like, bro, why I catch you so easy, like. Tell me what's going on with
you. Police is already worried because Joker said there's bombs hidden all across Gotham.
Always.
So there's not a lot of security at Arkham right now. So you kind of see all the set pieces before the real big bang starts.
Just getting ready to see the ugly turn on.
Can we be real about Gotham City real quick? Because, like, as many rogues as Batman has, the outlandish shit that they do, rent's got to be like $2 a month there. That's the only reason people are still getting mugged in Gotham City. Because, like, you know, give me a wallet. I got to pay for my rent the rest of my life.
I mean...
No, because Batman's rich.
I realize Batman don't give a fuck.
There's a lot of, you know, businesses and all in Batman. I mean, you know, it's run like a regular shithole city. I'm not going to, you know, name any of our great American cities.
I feel like it's like
not doing it.
I'm not going to do
it.
I feel like it's Baltimore.
We already pissed off people in Greenland.
Nope. Not Baltimore. I hear Baltimore is lovely this time of year.
It is.
It's fall time ish.
All right, continuing on. Okay, so yeah, you get Joker all checked out and everything, and he escapes. He pretty much knocks over a doctor and a security guard, kills both of them. And in the background, while you're walking through the beginning of Arkham, you see Harley Quinn. And she opens up. They already have the place taken over, one part of it. At least taken over. I say taken, don't I?
Yeah, all the time.
Well, it's not really took. Mind you, she opens the doors, but like, that's one thing you see throughout the game is them taking over. Like you were talking about, Joker escapes and he runs deeper into the asylum. Batman's trying to follow after him, and then you get... You know, the very first thing you do as Batman, besides walking after Joker, is you start breaking femurs. And I do mean breaking femurs.
And when you first play that kind of when you play the first time you play the game, it's kind of a different kind of setup for the combat system because usual ones are just
that free flow. I don't know who come up with that shit at Rocksteady or whoever made that system. I don't know who you are, but you deserve a blowjob every single day. Tell me I'm wrong. The free flow system is like the best combat system there is.
It's not the best.
It's not the best combat system there is, but it 100% is the best combat system to make you feel like Batman.
Yeah.
I mean, that is what it does.
Especially when you start getting them upgrades for the combat system, then it just gets insane.
I mean, yeah, just starting off as standard Batman, I mean, you can flop all over people, and when you kick people, you kick the dog shit out of them. And I mean, you can jump over them, and big people, you can slide between their legs, and just like,
I didn't know that, guys.
And you can just like combo the hell out of people. I mean, it has like a combo counter, which kind of is a little reminiscent of like some of the older games, like Devil May Cry's and stuff. Like, it gives you a reason to want to try out more. Arcadey. Well, not arcadey, but it gives you a reason to want to try out more combinations. Like when you see combo counters in games, it doesn't mean it's an arcadey game. It means there's more you can do than just the standard square, 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 square. I'm going to get hit, triangle, square, square. There's like so much more you can do, even just from the giddy up. And I mean, I know as you get deeper into the game, the different enemy types force you to use some of the other things Batman can do to allow for nice longer combos, better chains, stuff like that.
When you start getting to the stun batons and knife wielders.
Oh, yeah. The stun batons piss me off.
I think knife wielders are real easy, but the stun batons.
Because the thing is with them, like you'll be in a situation, right? You'll be beating up one unarmed guy. You'll stun the damn baton guy and try to hit him, but end up hitting someone else. And then when you turn back over him, that split second, he's good to go. Shot. Every single time.
Kadawfi Crush, because I saw you play this game, and you kind of played it a lot different than how me or MattMatt would play it. Like, what did you see when you first played it? Like, what made you do those? Because, guys, he was like walking around, just exploring anything he could find, like just to see if there was any extra he could find.
And there usually is.
There sometimes is.
All right, so like I play games like Super Metroid and or just Metroid in general, Castlevania. I love RPGs. And I realized that like at that time frame when that game was coming out, like a lot of other games were kind of becoming RPG-ish. They were learning how to use the secret walls and all of the cool little secrets and doodads you could find. I mean, a lot of games have always done that, but like it just felt more like a classic RPG where like the way things were hidden, the way the games were built at that time. So like exploration's always been a real big deal for me. Back in the day, my uncle, he had me play Tomb Raider, the first one. And he used to always be like, oh, well, there's a box over there. And I was like, but it doesn't do anything. He's like, it's over there for a reason. And we'd find extra ammo, health packs, special weapon, whatever the hell we find. And that's kind of the way I kind of go through video games now. Is like, there's a reason for this design. Remember, there's like a part in the beginning of it, like right when you finally get loose, not like get loose, but like you're finally accessible to use your grappling hook and stuff like that. There's I'm running across the grates and stuff, and I'm studying the game environment. I'm like, something that always bothered me about some games. I'm droning. I'm sorry. Some things that have always bothered me about some games, like Metroid, is probably the biggest offender to me personally. Is you designed something that I have to get through so specifically. How the fuck did other people get through this prior to me? Like it's an ancient, civilization or whatever, and it's like. Because like I'm using it as it functions. I turned the power back on, and it's like, how the fuck did they get over here with the morph balls and shit? And of course, that's actually explained, and I'm a dumbass. But I've always paid attention to like just how the map is designed. Like when Batman would go through the grates and stuff I was talking about earlier, I was jumping from HVAC to HVAC unit or whatever tube line, and I noticed there was a grate hanging from one of the lines. Nowhere else in the game had I seen the HVAC line with a metal grate hanging from it. So I was like, oh, what the fuck does that do? And I mean, I sat there for 5 minutes,
And I was wondering what the hell you were doing.
I was going around it looking like, what the fuck does it do? It just drove me crazy that it was there and it was out of place and it did something. But that's why I explore games the way I do, because like shit just might do something.
Well, Batman Arkham Asylum does have a little bit, it has stuff to explore because you have the Riddler. And the Riddler kind of makes you explore all of Arkham anyway because of all his riddles and his
Riddler.
Hey, when you beat him,
man,
guys,
fuck that. If you beat him.
It's a great ending.
I'm not sitting there trying to do it.
Though. It's a great ending. But there's more than just the Riddler that you can explore. There is actually a secret room. I'm not going to tell you where it is, how you get there, do anything. But it kind of explains about something further on in the gaming of Batman.
Right. And I failed to mention is that I only played for 3 hours. Or like 5 hours.
About pure 3 hours.
Yeah, it was almost 5, I think, when I was just going through it.
Oh, yeah, because you had to fight Bane and you had to play your way with Bane.
And see, all right, so the exploration thing, yeah, that's the my way. Not the my way. I'm sure a lot of people play games like that, but like it's different than the way you guys go through. Like, Steve told me that y'all kind of, because y'all are familiar with the game, y'all kind of ran through it. Like,
a little bit, yeah.
Right.
Our rule was...
I played at least 7 or 8 times.
Well, yeah, besides that, our rule was we avoided Riddler. Like, if we had to do it to progress the story, we did it. And then, like, rushing isn't the right word for it, but, like, streamlining is. You know, like, we know where to go next, so we kind of just ran through a little bit. We didn't get too far ahead of you. We got to the, what did we stop at? The second Scarecrow Nightmare?
Yeah.
Man, what'd you think? I never asked. What'd you think of the Scarecrow Nightmares?
Yeah, he was whack. I played one. I played the first Scarecrow Nightmare.
Yeah, the one with the morgue?
Yeah, I only had time for that, and
he died.
I died like a million times.
He failed so much.
On Scarecrow?
Oh, yeah.
He failed trying to save Dr. Young. He failed,
Dr. Young.
The girl.
The one who's making the venom.
Yeah, making the venom.
Oh, yeah.
With the 2 blasting
walls. Things got crazy, bro.
He thought he killed a man because I told him, I said, because the Joker room with all the Joker toxin in the room with Aaron Cash and the doctor.
Oh, man.
He thought he killed the damn...
by slicing the rope?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you ever play Arkham Asylum or any of the Arkham games, if a villain puts out a trap and Batman's got to spring it to save somebody, that person's still unconscious. He's not dead.
He's not dead.
Yeah,
because of it's Batman doing it and not the villain doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Batman
fate.
Batman's a murderer.
He should be.
I'll discuss that later.
But
manslaughter
doesn't count as murder.
Batman's a murderer.
Manslaughter does not count as murder.
Right.
Listen, if Batman beat him up, right? Hear me out on this. In a legal way, I hope we have some lawyers listening. Okay, now explain this to me. Explain this to me. If Batman beats somebody up, right, and survives it and goes to the hospital, if he happens to, the internal bleeding finally gets to him, like a week down the road, did Batman kill him, or did
that's manslaughter,
or did he quote unquote mishap?
He died from his injuries.
He died of natural causes. Batman's fists. Or that stupid ass kick that he does. There ain't no therapy for Batman.
Beating
therapists, physical therapists.
Yeah,
he makes them super rich because
mental therapists.
Look, fine. Since we want to do this with Batman, Batman is the biggest murderer in Gotham. And here's my plea for that.
No, he's not.
Here's my plea for that. I mean, simply put, everybody goes with this argument. Simply put, Batman doesn't kill the people who need to be killed. Batman, he may not be the guy pulling the trigger, but I mean, you telling me he should have let Cobblepot keep running around? You telling me that Bane should still be Bane?
He's better than that.
Killer Croc.
If he kills, if he murders a murderer, the amount of murderers don't change.
Yes, it does.
Now listen, Red Hood said something better. Not unless you kill a lot of them.
and Red Hood is right. I mean, all right, it'd be like Highlander rules. There can only be one murderer in Gotham, and it might as well be Batman. Nope. I'm gonna let them all stay alive, and we're gonna put them in a horrible torture place.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier.
That just they somehow just get right back out. I guess I get it. And Steve said something earlier was like, well, if the hero killed all the villains, then the comic book would be over. And I said, well, if eHarmony fucking worked, they'd be out of business. So, I mean,
but that's what I was saying earlier. We'll get back to the game in a minute, but like Arkham as a thing, like every single comic book or whatever has, they have their super prison, right? It's the Raft for Marvel. It's Arkham for Batman's villains. It's the fucking Phantom Zone, which is the most effective one.
Hold on, it's not
for Superman.
It's not the Phantom Zone, but it's because Lex Luthor was put on it too. I can't remember, but it was in the Phantom Zone.
Oh,
Superman has one too.
Oh, some dumb shit. But no, like, why would you house your And this is just the city, government paid taxpayers paying for this shit. Why would you put them all in the same fucking place? Why would you ever fucking do that? And this doesn't go just for the game. Like, none of this shit ever made sense. Why not take Joker and just send him to an island? Some fucking where. Just drop him off.
Joker come back.
Just drop him off.
Yeah, Joker.
Yeah, I mean, Joker exists in the power of fakeness.
No, he put him in a bodysuit of like, make it metal, heavy enough he can't even get up.
And just drop him out of the plane.
Drop him on the thing. Don't drop him out of the plane, you'll kill him. Then Batman be mad.
He'd come back. He'd be right back.
Hey, we're
not getting that far off topic. We're not getting that.
We're still talking about Batman.
No, I'm still talking about Arkham. All right, cool. So Batman's not a killer. Okay? I'm not going to make fun of him no further being the biggest murderer in Gotham. But
if they die later, it doesn't count.
But the second biggest murderer in Gotham is the Gotham government. Why are they not just executing these assholes? Why have they not taken Clayface and dropped them in a pool of water?
Because they're insane. That's technically what they're going with.
Okay, Killer Croc is not insane.
He needs help.
The puppet dude is not insane. Scarecrow is not insane.
Scarecrow is
Harley
insane.
Quinzel is. You could shoot her and get away with that.
She's kind of in the middle.
What's his name? Not Deadpool, but
Deathstroke.
Deathstroke is certainly not insane.
Deathstroke can know exactly what he's doing. Black Mask.
But none of these motherfuckers are insane. They're just assholes with powers.
What about Joker?
Okay. Again, like with Quinzel, like, I mean, you gotta put down a rabid dog. You gotta put down a rabid dog or the dog continues being rabid. Like, I mean, Batman, once he put them in prison the first time and they had done one of those crazy ass crimes, they'd be like, man.
I've only ever seen Batman kill Joker twice.
In different things.
In two different things. Not in Arkham. He never killed him.
So, I know the reason why Batman doesn't kill anybody.
But what about the government? What about Arkham itself?
Because Batman didn't give him permission to.
Because
Batman is not Chuck fucking Norris.
Hey, whoa, hold on. The Green Lantern Corps asked for permission to enter Gotham from Batman.
Is Batman the realist?
That's think about the Nova Corps from Marvel.
All right.
The Galactic Police asked him for permission. A human, a mortal, asked him for permission.
That's because they're a gang of pussies. Because Doomsday didn't ask nobody when he came to beat Superman.
Doomsday did not ask any fucking
He
buddy.
asked the soul. How about that?
Doomsday.
Now let's get back to Arkham.
I was about to say, like, all right, getting back to Arkham. When you we're not going to talk about Bane yet. We're going to talk about Zaz.
We're talking about Bane now.
Zaz?
We're going to talk about Zaz.
Man.
And when you first get in there, all right, I got to ask a question to both of you. Why in the fuck is in all of Arkham Asylum, there's just gargoyles everywhere? Like, just perfectly for Batman just to take down.
There's two constants in that world. The police system sucks. No one does their fucking job. They have some mental...
I was trying to explain that Batman
and the second constant?
You have some rich kid dress up as a bat every night doing a better job than the police. And the second is Gotham likes old Victorian shit. You ever seen any Tim Burton Batman ever?
Yeah, but it's not. Hold on. What about the other, with Christian Bale? Who was the director for that?
Christopher Nolan. They still had gargoyles. They like Victorian.
I mean, the name of the fucking town is Gotham.
Look at Batman. He looks like a gargoyle.
Dude, the name of the town is Gotham. A Gothic Victorian?
I'm with it.
I hear you.
Steve. Liquid Gold Special.
Because the whole town was named after that. They were named after a fad.
How'd you guys like the detective mode? Because that was kind of like a new thing. Like, I wish you could have switched through all the detective modes that he had, but I liked.
Just the you're talking about the analysis, the air, like the alcohol, the tobacco, all that shit. That was pretty cool.
Kadawfi Crush made a joke. He was like, "Is he just dropping fucking?"
The tobacco?
Is he just dropping the tobacco?
The tobacco, yes, he was doing that on purpose.
See,
how do you have that much?
He's probably got a pouch of it.
Yeah, I remember. All the three things he had was Frank Bortles Bowles,
the alcohol.
Alcohol breath, which made actual sense more than the tobacco. I got Kadawfi Crush's side on this one because it makes more sense than because like you can see. Like, that was just weird how he had little bits of damn tobacco, but, like, the breath of someone could find.
Hear me out, right?
Even the finger from Harley Quinn would make sense, but not the tobacco.
Hear me out. Gordon has dealt with Batman for a while now. He realizes if he leaves a bread trail, it'll lead him right to him.
He couldn't bring nothing else except tobacco. He couldn't do anything else.
What else would he have on him? Let me leave these shoestrings right here. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Not the shoestrings, bro.
Like, you gotta think about it. He's got a pouch of tobacco.
I'm not gonna say something.
So maybe I misunderstood when I played. Because I didn't realize it was Gordon dropping tobacco.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Gordon does smoke a pipe, does he not?
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, he would have a...
But how would you have that much tobacco and be like, and someone not knows you dropping that?
Have you ever bought a pouch of tobacco?
There's a lot.
There's a lot of tobacco.
But I'm talking about when he's getting dragged by Harley's jars and henchmen.
And there's also that, too. Like, how was he dropping that? Like,
handful.
How? When he's being dragged.
He's commissioner.
Like, they're picking him up by his arms. I mean,
Jim Gordon ain't fucking playing.
He could get beat up and drop to the ground.
I know the answer to this.
What's our favorite theory?
All right. Well, the best theory is the Super Friends theory. Batman has a utility belt that has enough space in it for a mouse.
What?
Yep. Yeah. I'm not kidding.
Go ahead.
Batman with the damn Wonder Twins. He had to sneak into some fucking where, and baby girl turned into a rat, and he turned into water or some shit. He turned into a shower. I don't know. And Batman says, well, it's a good thing I have a space in my utility pouch big enough for a mouse. So he gave that belt to Gordon apparently, and that mouse went into Gordon's pouch and and dropped the rat tobacco out for him.
I feel like the map of Arkham Asylum wasn't humongous, but it was enough to be...
It was condensed.
Because you had a west, a north, and you had an east. You never had a south, though.
I liked the more open areas where you were kind of like outside.
Yeah.
And, I mean, obviously, it was cooler. It was, it was cool. There was a lot of details in it. And I mean, when I first got there, I was like, oh boy, who did I call out? It wasn't you. It was you. Who was it? I don't know. I was playing with one of y'all. Anyway, it was, I called out, not Botanical Girl. Oh boy. Help me out. Poison Ivy. I didn't call out, I called out somebody else because I was making a joke about it being Poison Ivy. It wasn't a great joke, but it turned out not to be Poison Ivy. It turned out to be outside, and I looked stupider.
No, you said Gorilla
Grodd. That's who it was.
He was like Gorilla Grodd, and I was like, no, you probably see him a little bit later, but not right now.
No,
you never see him.
Grodd ain't in because Grodd's a Flash Rogue.
He's one of the Riddlers. Riddles.
Oh no shit.
And
because that was okay. Yeah, and if you did do the riddles, that was another cool thing. Was instead of just being like Easter eggs, if you're a fan of DC or Batman, you had little shit that they threw in, like Black Mask being in Dr. Young's office, that being one of the answers to the riddles.
Man in one of his cells.
Yeah, Calendar Man and shit like that.
Calendar Man always in a cell.
That they leave his ass in a cell. What the fuck did Calendar Man do? Like, what did he do?
That's another one of those ones they should have killed. I mean,
you never got to the insane people. I wish you would have got to the insane
they're
people.
frightening.
They're frightening because they'll jump out of nowhere and then they'll just they'll beat your
beat the shit out of you.
I mean, but you're Batman, you'll be fine.
Yeah, for a minute.
But it's like you ever played Left 4 Dead?
Yeah.
Had the jockeys on your back.
Well,
that was exactly what it felt like.
Could you play Left 4 Dead as first person Batman?
Hell no.
I thought so. Now,
it wouldn't be called Left 4 Dead. It'd just be called Batman.
Hey, Arkham Asylum did have a first person, but it was only when you first went to the therapy or the visitor center.
Right. I didn't like that. That felt weird.
It was trying to be creepy.
Yeah, that's all. I didn't like that.
I did like how the visitor center throughout the whole game, if you kept on watching it, and every time he would finish up an objective, the visitor center would get more and more detailed to Joker's face, which is that's what they were filming.
The environment evolved. That's another cool thing. Like we were talking about earlier with them taking over the asylum. Was when you first leave, like intensive treatment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you first leave there. No, the guards are still out on the grounds doing their rounds. Like they know that there's a breakout going on, but like they're trying to contain it. And as the game goes on, the more prisoners get out, the more the guards don't show up out there, or they're trying to survive, or they're dead, most likely dead.
Because when you first play the start of the game, the intensive treatment is taken over, and then it's the mansion. Because the mansion's still free and clear of people. Because you come out of that way thinking Gorilla Grodd was right there. For some damn reason, Kadawfi Crush.
I thought, I didn't think it was really Gorilla Grodd. It's a jungle level. It looked like a jungle level. I was making a joke about it not being Poison Ivy, where I was sure it was Poison Ivy. And I was like, oh, was it Gorilla Grodd? Because, fucking monkey in the jungle. It wasn't a great joke, and it was over complex to be as bad of a joke as it was, but it was nonetheless a failed attempt at a joke.
But the environment was actually very beautiful. We played the remastered version. I did play the original one too, and I could see the difference. There's even one in 4K I've never tried before, but it shit looks fucking awesome.
4K?
Yes. Arkham Asylum.
You talk about, because I just seen Return to Arkham, and that's it. I didn't know they did it
was just
again.
in 4K.
Yeah,
that was nice though. But yeah, if you can get a Game of the Year edition and a remaster, you were doing something.
Well, this is another point I wanted to bring up. Is like I wouldn't think it would be a bad thing to say that this is kind of an instant classic. Like, people know City. I know people are like the first, you say the word Batman or Arkham, the first thing they think of is Hugo Strange. Fucking City.
If you don't want to call it a classic, I'll say it's fine to be called a classic, but if you don't want to call it a classic, you can say it's a start of,
it's lightning in a bottle.
Like a lightning in a bottle.
It's lightning in a bottle.
For four of the games, I think they stopped perfectly at 4 and didn't keep on going with the same damn.
Well, they are now.
With Arkham Knights.
Gotham Knights. Then
Gotham Knights.
Go play it if you fucking want.
You're just playing.
I want to be Batman.
But how'd you okay, I'm going to ask you first, MattMatt.
Go ahead.
Because I don't know if you actually watched the animated series or even if Kadawfi Crush watched the animated series, but how did you feel about Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, if anybody doesn't know, and Kevin Conroy, the big chin, revising their voice acting roles? Because it was kind of cool hearing original Batman
and original Joker. Yeah, that because if you watch a lot of Batman shit nowadays, like Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill are still doing their shit. Like usually 9 times out of 10, if Kevin is doing it, Mark's gonna do it too. Right? Otherwise, you have John DiMaggio, which if people don't know, that's Bender from Futurama. You have Troy Baker, who is basically in every single video game there is. But it was really, I think that's something good that they did it's fucking Batman. You can't just have some run-of-the-mill dude that we've never heard of voice Batman. I think that was a big drawing point the game, was that you had the original voice actors back for it. Because even being around doing your objectives and Batman's trying to figure shit out to himself, you never really got that with the animated series with let me figure this out. Let me call in the line launcher and talking to Oracle and all that shit. You never got that with the series. And
because Batman was that dope.
Yeah.
Kadawfi Crush?
As far as them being the original voice actors, I mean, it was really cool to hear them. I mean, they sounded right in place. It kind of made the game itself feel like the old cartoon, like you were catching an episode from the cartoon.
Exactly.
And that was real cool. I remember like when I was younger watching that show, it used to kind of like get on my nerves how dark it was and like just like kind of how detective-y it felt. The show usually did. Used to bug the shit out of me when I was younger, but when I got older and watched it again, like, oh damn, they're telling me a really good story. Shut up, stupid.
Yeah,
and
kids cartoons.
So like it kind of felt that way again, where it was like somebody was really trying to recapture that magic from like because the series was like best Batman's. I mean, because right after that we had sorry ass Batman Beyond.
Hey, don't talk shit about Terry McGinnis. We're gonna have to fight over that.
Terry McGinnis get beat up more than Spider-Man.
Nah, I don't know about all that.
Now, and he has
He's got the Batman name to protect, man.
He ain't doing a great job, but then he getting his ass whooped too. Oh man, by Static Shock level people,
I just
getting tore up.
When I heard the voice, it kind of just brought me back, and it was like how you were saying it, Kadawfi, reminiscent or not reminiscent, but nostalgic, and that's kind of a word that everyone says, nostalgic. But it really kind of like, man, I used to watch that shit as a kid, and it just like brought me back to that time.
It felt like you were getting some of that back, but also with like a grittier Batman, and, and like everything was so. It was like, I mean.
There was the cartoon shit in there, but
not just that, but like the way everybody looked, like any of the characters you got to see, anybody. I mean, everybody looked really. Counterman looked really, really bad. It was like, oh god, ooh, is that what that guy looks like? Riddler looked fucking insane. Scarecrow looked like he needed a wedgie. I mean, they just really did a good job on creating that environment and putting you in it as if like you were tossed in there. As a person, you were sucked into the TV and thrown into the Batman. So like, oh, it's not as cute as it looks on TV. Mm-hmm. This is what the shit would look like. Because, I mean, Batman does damage to people and that shit has everlasting effects too. Then you see all the scars and shit on Joker and all. And it's like, Batman fucked him up a few times and other people. And himself. So, go ahead.
Talking about fucked up shit, how did you guys like the costume gradually getting like marked up and like scarred up and stuff like that throughout? Because like it showed that Batman was actually through a war this whole night, and this is going on in one night. He's
not walking away unscathed, is what it was showing you. Like his. Like gliding around, seeing the cuts in the cape and all that. Like after what was it? The first time that changed was the
It was the
elevator. The elevator fell on him.
It was the scar on his chest
that went right by the bat.
Yeah, I thought it was a cool little detail how they added that in. They didn't have to, but they showed like what he went through, the war that he went through the night.
He didn't have to have a clean outfit all night long.
He could have been pimping and
I mean, if he
could have been Dapper Dan.
if he'd had a clean outfit all night long, then it wouldn't have been like a worth it adventure. You know what I mean? Like it'd have been just another day in Batman's shoes, but this one was like Batman had already fulfilled his nightly duty. He probably about to put Joker down and go take his ass to bed himself. And it's like 2:00 in the morning, maybe 3:00 possibly, and now he has a whole real adventure to go through. He'd already done his basic Batman shit. Now it's time to like be Batman in overdrive. And, a war of attrition really against everybody. Most of his rogues gallery. Yeah, you're locked down in a tight confined place. And I mean,
surprisingly, Batman has not gone insane by that night.
Hey, listen. So he wasn't locked in there with them. They were locked in there with him.
Kadawfi Crush. Because you only played a few bosses, I want to ask you the question first. Because me and Matthew can kind of talk more about different bosses. We're not going to spoil a lot of things, but I feel like it's a good talking point. Because there is a lot of good bosses in that fight, in that game.
Yeah,
There's a lot of repetitive ones, and there's a lot of shit ones. I want to feel, because you only really got, that counts as Scarecrow, all three dreams, because he has 3 of them, count as a boss fight.
The third one's the weirdest.
All right, hold on. You get the Scarecrow boss fight. You get Bane and I think that's
You get Bane, Poison Ivy, and Joker.
no,
Killer Croc.
No, I'm talking about he only got to the half Titan henchman, the Scarecrow, the First Dream, and Bane. That's all you got to.
Yeah. The henchmen, I feel like I just kind of whooped their asses.
Yeah.
After
you figure it out,
that was one with the little arm that looked like chargers from Left 4 Dead. That one that popped its heart after a while.
Yeah, I think I served them.
No, their heart
Oh,
exploded.
did I not?
It's the one that it's the really tall man that got the fucked up face.
Oh no, I didn't see that at all.
That was when remember the tutorial part at the very beginning when you see Joker, hey, knock me off, try to kill me. You don't remember any of that?
He gives him a chance to kill him, but and then Batman doesn't do it.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. My fault.
Hold on, I'll show you. These guys.
Yeah, those things. Those critters. The ones that look like
but
Hulk's enemy.
And those
Abomination.
And those three little bit of boss fights, did you enjoy one of them? Did you think all of them were kind of trash and repetitive?
I didn't like.
Feel?
I know I didn't like the Scarecrow one.
Because it was a one shot.
I like the Scarecrow ones.
It wasn't because it was a one shot. It was just the one I played. I'm sure the other ones were probably more fun. So I'm still kind of remembering like how Scarecrow was in Arkham City, but
he wasn't in Arkham City.
Yeah, he was.
No, he was not.
He's in Knight.
He was in Arkham Knight. Arkham City. No. The only time Scarecrow shows up in Arkham City is as an Easter egg, and you have to find it.
I don't believe you. But I could be wrong. I haven't played that in ages. Then what is this? What is the game where you're fighting Scarecrow and you're like in a hospital room and like, oh shit, that's DC Universe. Okay, never mind. My fault. My fault.
That's an MMO. What the fuck?
Hey, bro. Scarecrow was dope in that one. Sorry.
Batman's in that game. Must be the same game.
All right, continuing on, Kadawfi.
Scarecrow.
So you said that Scarecrow, just like
I didn't like the fucking fight. The Scarecrow adventure, I suppose.
Puzzle.
It wasn't really a puzzle. It was just I was doing stupid shit and dying. I don't know. It wasn't fun. I didn't like that one at all.
Now, what did you think of? Because you've obviously played City, so you've dealt with it. But the closed-in quarters, like that's the thing. The difference between Asylum and City is you're stuck in that. Like you're in the mansion, you're in the botanical gardens, you're in the infirmary, all that shit. Like all the closed-in space that you were stuck in, right? But then you had the areas open up, and you can go onto the gargoyles. All that stealth gameplay. What'd you think about that?
He still didn't say which one was his favorite boss fight. Calm down.
Shit.
Okay, okay.
You only said
so. I'll get to your stealth in just a moment. I did enjoy the Bane fight. I usually enjoy fighting Bane in any game.
How many times did you die?
Oh, probably like 100. But like
he saw a couple death scenes.
Bane cut that ass. I mean, Bane broke that back
multiple times. The bat is broken.
I really love that death scene too, where it's like you're already flopping. Like Batman looks like one of the criminals that you beat up, and they just kind of flop around. And Bane's just like, I got you. Your arms float around like gang beasts, and he just breaks you in half, and it's like, haha, fuck you, Batman, again. But I did enjoy fighting Bane, because like I thought I could run the ones with Bane.
No.
And it turns out you can. You just need to put more time and dedication into it, but you can run the ones with Bane. The best way to do it is, you know how you use the X button to flip over people? Slide between his legs, pat, pat, slide between his legs, pat, pat, slide between his legs, pat, pat. It's over, and I mean, you gotta be focused.
What about the henchmen?
You gotta be focused. Well, when they show up, you know, you just
start running around.
Nah, man, you fucking slide between his legs, pat, pat. And you jump over people, and you slide between his legs, and pat, pat. There's a strategy to it, right? It's gonna take a long time. It's gonna take much longer than it would take to let Bane run himself out like a dumbass. But you can run the ones with Bane.
If there's an easier way for this fight, fuck that.
It took me a while to find the easier way, because I was like, well, if I can stop Bane from running, I can run the ones on his ass.
Did he ever throw the rocks at you while he was up on him?
Damn right he did.
He stopped him a couple times. He would kick him out of the loop sometimes.
Yeah.
he would throw the batarang and kind of like and run up to him, and he would kind of stop that and want to try to charge him.
That's different than what me and Steve did.
So
We were running around the room like a dumbass, avoiding the fucking rocks and trying to hit him with the batarang, but it keeps hitting someone else by accident, getting pissed off and dying 15 dozen fucking times.
Well, so you gotta have the triple batarang.
It doesn't matter when you have
You gotta have the triple batarang.
Oh,
I felt like Bane's fight was better in City.
Yeah.
When you kind of just do a repetitive kind of thing,
Right.
just to defeat a character, it kind of gets stale a little bit. And that's why I wanted to talk. You do yours first, but in the boss fights, the Titan henchmen are kind of about the same as Bane. They run at you real stupid, and you gotta hit them with a batarang.
Right.
And they hit themselves.
Well,
and you knock them out a couple.
the game was showing you how to do it, is how they were.
But it's still like most of the, we can talk about the Killer Croc boss fight. It was not a boss fight, Matthew. What was it?
Escaping.
That's exactly what the boss fight was. You had to escape. You were getting spores. You were getting spores for an antidote.
Spores.
For an antidote for the Titan.
So you weren't really fighting Killer Croc, but Killer Croc was trying to fight you.
Killer Croc was trying to kill you.
Killer Croc was trying to eat you.
No.
Let's get this correct. Remember what he said at the start of the game? He's going to grind his bones to dust and eat his flesh and shit like that.
Yeah, get caught by Killer Croc.
Hey, dude, I would totally play a game where they gave Killer Croc Batman's abilities.
That'd look funny.
That would be great.
That'd be horrifying.
Put Killer Croc.
Hey, Killer Croc hanging up.
Crocabat.
He looked like King Shark from the Suicide Squad movie, just eating people whole.
But go ahead, Steve.
Did you like any specific boss fight out of all of them?
My favorite boss fight had to be the final fight, even though it's stupid what they did.
Well, I guess you can't discuss that too much further, can you?
But if we're going to talk about in the start of it, I like the Scarecrow missions.
Yeah?
I do, because
what is it about the other ones that are more intriguing than the hide and go seek one?
What do you mean?
Why is
I like the hide and go seek one.
Oh, so
I like the Scarecrow
So are
missions.
all the Scarecrow missions pretty much hide and go seek?
Basically,
You fight
but
a little
no.
bit
Eventually, you start fighting henchmen while in the nightmare, and you also beat up his hand, I guess.
So I'm going to ask for a slight spoiler.
Okay.
Do you ever get to whoop his ass?
Yes.
Okay, that's it.
After the
That's
third
all.
one.
After the second one, cool.
Okay.
I thought Poison Ivy was a joke.
Poison Ivy shit is intimidating until you know what's going on.
She has it looks like she's in like a hamster ball.
Okay.
And you just
Hamster ball of briars.
no hamster ball.
It's she's inside the big flower, and she's like in a dome inside the front of the flower.
A hamster ball.
Like
Okay.
that looks like a hamster
So
ball.
she became a Resident Evil boss.
Basically.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically.
Okay. So
You only hit one specific spot there.
dude, punch her in her belly button.
Punch her in the glass.
Yeah, you're because
In the
she's
what?
she's
The
controlling.
The hamster ball's got to break, and then you hit her with fucking
You said
batarangs.
punch her in the glass.
Punch her in the glass.
Like break the
Punch her
dome
right
that because she betrays Batman. Whatever, they've started working together. Bullshit. Anyway, the boss fight starts and she goes up into the flower inside the dome. You got to break that dome down and get her the fuck back out of it.
Oh,
And
so
that-
is that dome made of glass?
It's organic, I guess.
Like an organic glass? Okay.
Basically.
Okay. See, like I heard she jumped into a flower dome, and then I heard break the glass, and I
Break
was
the
like,
glass, like Stone
I
Cold.
was like, is there like an axe in the glass?
Well, if we can talk about the Poison Ivy fight, we could talk about the Joker fight. Can't we?
I mean, not that. No,
No?
because
That's something you'd have to experience.
It's the last fight. You know, it's the last.
You would have
I mean,
to
you played
experience-
City. You kind of
I
understand
mean,
what the
I know
fuck's
you like
going
to
on.
give off real spoilers, but no.
Did you guys? Well, okay, I'll ask Kadawfi. Did you have any negatives? Did the game kind of brush you off on a few things that you really didn't like about it?
All right. So sorry, I'm being a little bit long-winded. I didn't play Arkham because I was playing DC Universe. I was enjoying that. It's a bigger world. I got to really spend a lot of time inside Arkham Asylum because they mapped it out much larger. They overblew it. and then there was like special chambers for everybody. Like I remember the Poison Ivy fight for real in that one, and how you had to get to her.
You're talking about City, you're not saying.
DC Universe.
Oh, okay.
Right. So I picked that up. I had that, and they did the same thing with not all of DC, but the Metropolis side, Wonder Woman people, and I got deep into DC lore and stuff from that game at first. It kind of brought me in. It's like when Batman came out, I was like, I don't need to do that. I can go to Gotham right now. So I was being kind of hard-headed about it or whatever. But when I finally got to play Arkham, I had already played City before. And so it felt like, so City is just the same game, but in a bigger space. Is kind of what it felt like. But I also can see that, like, Arkham Asylum isn't a bad game.
No,
I can totally see why anybody would cherish it. I can't say anything bad about it. It's just not my jam. Like, especially after having played City first.
Well, you were spoiled.
Oh, yeah. Because City was super fun. I mean, like, snatching up random criminals on the street. Oh, it was great. That was fucking wonderful. It was like, I get to be ultimate Batman. Because, like, if Batman was in a town where everybody was a bad guy, this is that game.
That's Arkham Knight.
Versus Arkham Asylum, there were actually a lot of really quiet moments. And I don't mean quiet as in, like, oh, it's somber and letting you just enjoy the environment. Because a lot of the environment looked like that same shitty hellhole that it looks like when you first walk into that shitty hellhole. That place that the government should have been shut the fuck down. Hit that bitch with a nuke. I mean, like, put all the fucking criminals in there, get the police out of there, and drop a fucking nuke. Look what they did to Harley.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus. Fucking idiots. Anyway, but I don't have any gripes with the game itself. I think the game itself is just fine for what it is. I guess it was pretty groundbreaking for its time and probably some stuff I missed out on.
Oh yeah, big time.
But I mean, at the end of the day, so. That's kind of how I feel about it. Like, I missed out on some, but so. Kind of like the Uncharted series.
You just...
I fucking hate the Uncharted series. I'm sorry.
To me, like, Arkham Asylum, yes, it really is like the beginning of everything for the Arkham series because it just... This is what I told Kadawfi earlier.
It's part one.
It's part one.
Exactly.
And it's not, okay, some games kind of, there's been times where games have had a second game. Like, you'll have the first part of the series, then the second game would kind of regress or be a little bit less shittier than the first game. But Arkham Asylum was the beginning of a series that it built on the base of Arkham Asylum and just made it better.
Oh yeah, just kept on going.
Single time.
So my understanding of the Arkham series is again, now I've played part one and I've played part two. I didn't play anything else after that. Does it simply become okay, your first game of Batman, you get that really special mission, and that's Arkham Asylum. And then like the second game was just like Arkham Asylum, but fucking blown out.
It was in the heart of Gotham.
Okay. And right. I know where it was at.
Batman's
hold on, I'm asking, I'm getting there, I'm sorry. So then like Arkham Knight was the third one?
No.
The third one was a prequel.
Yeah, a prequel.
Okay, it was a prequel. Okay, I don't even know what the hell you do in that one. But I know in Arkham Knight, you essentially get to be Batman on the streets of Gotham.
So,
is that correct?
Here's how the series works.
So no,
Asylum.
He doesn't.
Let me explain. So the Asylum, he's on a special mission, like you said. City, he was also on another special mission, but you kind of got to see a glimpse into him being in Gotham on the streets, down the alleyways, all that. Origins opened up Gotham to you, but not like you wanted it to, right? Arkham Knight, basically, the whole tagline of the game is be the Batman. You're fighting almost his entire rogue gallery. You drive the fucking Batmobile around. That was the cool thing about this series. Like, I know we're supposed to be talking about Asylum, but the series, as cool as it is, it opened up everything to you. Like, it kind of spoon-fed you at first, but when, like, Night rolled around and you'd play the other ones, I've already gotten all that. Give me the entire city, have a reason that nobody's out on the streets, blah, 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 right? and give me the Batmobile. That's basically what Knight is.
Asylum it does look dated to me just a little bit.
It's still solid.
There's some parts that like kind of get me with Asylum, but it's like a drug that never got you not high. Like every time you played an Arkham game, every time you played,
never not got you.
Where are the other drugs going?
Okay, all right. Just the Arkham series itself, like never you were always on a high with Arkham.
Yeah, it never disappointed you.
Yeah, it never lulled you because Arkham Asylum was the beginning, and then it's like a runner going at top speed and never lost at top speed. It always stayed full send the whole way.
Some people might disagree with you with Arkham Origins, and to that I say, fuck you. Arkham Origins is a good fucking game.
It might not be the
best one,
the best one out of all
good.
Of them, but it definitely opened up more, like you were saying, the city. It gave you side missions. Arkham City
did that a lot.
Arkham Asylum had very few, and pretty much Arkham Asylum was only like collectibles with the Riddler.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, is like Asylum had side shit going on, right? But at the end of the day, you were still there to stop Joker. City, you were there to put an end to Arkham City, but there was a lot of shit going on there that Batman had to stop. The Penguin taking over the Iceberg Lounge, which he already technically owns it, blah.
Hush.
Hush doing his thing with the identity theft, all that.
Identity theft is not a joke, Jim.
Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Origins it opened up way more, let you had Bane, you had Deathstroke, which had Arkham Origins has the best boss fight in the entire fucking series, which is the Deathstroke fight. Because that fight,
hard pass on that.
That
shit.
Fights. What do you think? The Electrocutioner is better?
No, but hard pass on that. All you do is just block and try to get in some shots with
and then hope he doesn't slash your ass.
But yeah, Arkham Asylum, not an all a trash game. I think it's the beginning of a great series.
From what I can remember about Arkham City and from what I can see of Arkham Asylum, is it like the boss fights were, I had more fun fighting the henchmen and the random goons they would throw, like the big super goons.
That was your bread and butter.
I had so much more fun doing that than I did with the derpy kind of gimmicky boss fights. Like Mr. Freeze comes to mind in Arkham City. And like that's like as gimmicky as it gets. I mean, really, except for coming through the grates and smashing his fucking head into the ground. That was pretty awesome. But besides that, is like, all right, I could do that 3 more times, 4 more times. I get it.
Once each time.
It's like, all right, cool.
After the first time, he gets better and it's just like, you're not doing that to me again, Batman.
Now you gotta do something else. And put the fucking gel on
the explosive gel come in clutch every single fight.
Honest, it's kind of like in interactive boss fight because he kind of changes up his tactic. He doesn't want you to do the same thing.
I know, but like it's still kind of gimmicky. Like, okay, the Bane fight. There's really one way to do it. Okay, you could spend all day long and technically glitch the motherfucker out.
Tap, 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 tap.
Right. Snap to his legs, tap, tap. You can do that. All right, but I mean that's not one of the ways the game really wanted you to beat Bane. You know what I mean? And I don't know. Maybe I kind of wanted it to be a little bit more open for you to decide as the detective how to handle these boss fights, how to handle these situations, instead of there being, well, there's more than one way to skin a cat, but Batman's fucking way is the way to do it.
That's an Arkham Knight.
Only way. MattMatt asked you a question earlier. We never actually got to it. How'd you like the stealth aspect of the whole game?
Oh, it's fucking awesome. I mean, if you're
with the gargoyles,
if you're gonna be Bat Ninja Man, I mean, you might as well be Super Bat Ninja Man. Now, it would have been cooler if we could have done something besides the gargoyles. Maybe grapple hook to the ceiling, and maybe like how ninjas hide up against the walls. Like spiders or whatever. Batman's fully capable, and he has all the mechanics and tools that allow him to do other things other than...
Don't shake your head, no. You remember Batman vs. Superman when he's just hanging up on the wall looking at the police officer?
Well, I mean, he has those kind of abilities, and...
Or just devices or damn...
Oh, yeah, Batman's capable.
Right, and he has, like, pretty much everything that there's a lot more about Batman that we could have got in those games that we didn't get for whatever reason. You know, and it's not really a complaint. It was like the stealth sections were super fun. I really, really love when you get to just hang a motherfucker from the gargoyle. I love that shit to death. You know, he swoops down there, fucking grabs him like he does in the movies, and then comes back up and he's holding this guy by his neck. And like, Steve and I had a debate about Batman's strength and his abilities, kicking those heavy ass, you know, 1/4-inch grates off the wall, and I mean,
pulling them off,
kicking them off, and they go fucking flinging, you know. And it's like he thinks because Batman is just that strong. Bruce Wayne is that strong. Bruce Wayne has mechanical fucking gloves and boots and pants.
No, like, reinforced, but not mechanical. That's him.
No,
that's him. Otherwise, he'd be killing people. Think about it like that.
Batman.
What do you mean? Otherwise, he'd be killing people. He does kill people.
No, he doesn't. Batman doesn't kill nobody.
Brain trauma is not killing.
I have a video to show you.
Look. When you punch somebody so hard that their personality changes, you just killed Ralph. I mean, you know,
Brendan. Talking about Batman, he killed Ralph.
Wait a minute, that Ralph walking around over there? No, that's Brendan. I mean, like, Batman's a fucking murderer, bro. I don't care who you are. But
Batman's a bad friend.
I mean,
that doesn't know how to save
those
anybody.
fucking batarangs he slaps people in the face with. I mean, you just completely changed my whole life. Whatever I was before.
How is Batman hitting people with those things and not like
slicing their faces apart?
Yeah, or like embedding into their head. But
he's using the blunt side.
He's using the blunts. Yeah,
he's using the blunt side.
He hit select.
He hit select with the blunt side.
No.
If anybody knows, you'll know.
You'll know last week.
If that's how it happened.
Oh man.
You
didn't see it before you throw it. He flips it.
Hey, they're just sleeping.
I do like these games overall. I would give them a 7 out of 10. I mean, overall with these games.
Are you talking about Asylum or
just
City?
Batman in general. The Batman Arkham fucking story games, you know, whatever you want to call it, the Arkham series, whatever it is you want to call it.
It's the Arkham series.
Would you give it a hard
I'd give it a hard 7.
No, I'm talking about like for only Asylum. Would you say that's a game you should play, or no? That's not.
Nah, you can skip that shit.
You can skip it.
You can skip it.
You can change it. You can go to the next one.
Like I think you could totally jump because I mean they catch you up essentially on what Batman did to Joker, and then what's going on with Joker and all his goofy shit because he's and you know Batman should have said suck a dick and got his bat jet and got the fuck out of there, dumbass.
Honestly, you should play on Origins first and then.
Yeah,
maybe
Origins is weird.
Maybe I should, but like
like Night.
Overall, I mean it's fun. The combat is simple yet entertaining, and you can mix it up. There's nothing wrong with simple combat as long as you can mix it up and really create what you want to do with it.
Well, that's one thing I like doing is like, remember in the hospital or the infirmary or whatever where you're saving the doctors?
Yes.
And you had the gunman, right? You had one doctor in the corner and you had the gunman around.
Right.
You notice,
That was
Dr. Young.
Dr. Young. You notice how some of the environment, you got the explosive gel at this point. You notice how like there was weak floors, there was weak roofs, there was weak walls. Mm-hmm. You can go around and set traps. Like say you go over here, you hang from a gargoyle, but over there, you done set a wall to explode on somebody. That would knock them out immediately instead of just being like using the explosive gel by itself and stunning them.
Right.
Like over here, you're capturing someone, but while those two people who are left come after them, you trap them.
Right.
Like that's one really cool thing is you can either go at these guys head on, which is suicide, or you can be smart about it. And you don't have to just like if you want all day and tomorrow, you can just walk up right behind them, drop behind them, and take them out.
Well, see,
or you can hang from the gargoyles, or like I said, you can hang traps, or however you want to do it.
That's the creativity I liked about fighting the goons that I wished I had gotten for some of the boss fights. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things we could have done, like maybe more use of the environment instead of just kind of closing us in small spaces. You know,
he might actually like the last
Arkham Knight.
No, I'm talking about the last boss fight in Asylum.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's probably the one where you got to really be Batman.
I wanted to back it
that.
up a little bit. When you quit out of the game into the main menu, there's a thing that that Asylum, that's the only superhero video game I saw, was a challenge mode. And to bring up about fighting the goons, that kind of showed you, because there was stealth challenges and there was just fighting, brawling challenges. And you could kind of figure out how to fight, how to continue combos, how to learn the way to be Batman, both in stealth and combat. Which was it was kind of like a training ground, but you were also getting tested for it as well. You could have trash numbers, or you could have great numbers, but you could also teach yourself there how to be a better Batman in that challenge mode, which was a nice addition to it. I like the character bios they put on that bitch too.
Yeah.
Because it felt like you actually felt like a detective because you had files on people.
Right.
You had
Finding the tapes and all that. Yeah.
It also
that was really cool.
It also really helped out if you're like a DC or a Batman nerd. You know, there were, like I said, lots of little Easter eggs, lots of little tidbits of information just splashed in here and there. I'm sure if I'd have played long enough, I probably would have seen something reminiscent of Puppet Man. I think his name is Toy Man.
It's the Puppet Master.
The fucking the one
Scarface.
The one Scarface. One that looks like Slappy from Goosebumps.
He's in Asylum, but he's
I actually kind of like him as one of Batman's.
There is an Easter egg if you listen in on the goons talking. One of them mentions Superman, not directly, but they mentioned Superman.
Right. I like that a lot about Arkham City. I noticed that was also present in Arkham Asylum, was that if you, instead of just jumping straight on the villains, they have conversations and they tell you all kinds of talking shit about Penguin, you know,
or Joker, or
Cobblepot.
Yeah, how they say it's a living environment.
I like the conversation. Like City did it more, where like they'll talk about the events in Asylum. It was like, yeah, when I was on Arkham Asylum, I met Batman and he broke my femur in 3 different places. Lightning doesn't strike twice in one place, and here comes fucking Batman.
It's like, you dumb for being on the streets.
Now I'm gonna break the other one.
Which one did I break the first time? Oh, the left?
I'll break them both just in case.
Multiple different shatters. It's already shattered.
Listen,
femur.
Batman doesn't kill you, but your hospital bills will.
I can't afford that.
Wayne Enterprises?
Yes.
How has people not figured out that Batman's Bruce Wayne?
He owns those.
You never
hospitals.
see him at the same time.
That's why.
No.
He owns those hospitals. That's why he makes so much money. That's why he doesn't kill anybody. I'm telling you guys, that's the reason. He owns them hospitals.
Exactly. He gets his money off of them. It's like, I beat up those guys the other day, and now I'm getting a cash payout over it. Can I include that ass whooping as a tax write-off?
So, reason number 2 why Batman's the biggest criminal in fucking Gotham.
He's not, okay, criminal might be a good word, but he is not a
murderer, master. Like, yo, real talk, every time we read a Batman comic, watch a Batman movie, it was always from his perspective. His point of view. Maybe we should see what Gotham really thinks of him. We should write a story from one of the normal nobody characters.
Watch Batman Year One.
Or just watch Batman fucking, just devastate his town and just be like, I'm doing good.
Do you want this? No,
destroyed downtown.
Like fucking Two-Face is actually really a good guy. And
he gives puppies away, and he gives money back to like charities and shit.
Fucking Bruce Wayne.
Home for disfigured children.
He beats the shit out of people and then sits at home. I'm a tortured soul.
Tortured soul takes it out on everybody else.
My parents got shot.
Why did you say Martha?
Fuck that guy. What a fucking asshole. I mean, alright, so talking more shit about Batman, Steve and I were talking about this earlier. I think it was the other day. Fucking Batman's rogues belong to a different superhero. Like, there's no way the Flash gets fucking Captain Cold, Captain Boomerang, and Batman gets Killer Croc, fucking Clayface, the big giant bat thing, fucking
Man Bat.
He gets Man Bat. And
you gotta think about it. He's Batman, isn't he?
I mean, but like,
so he's got to fight a Man Bat.
But look what fucking Flash gets: Reverse Flash,
Gorilla Grodd,
Gorilla Gronk,
the fastest man alive.
against it.
He gets reverse. Oh yeah, he does get reverse. You already said that.
Yeah, he gets reverse. But I mean, like nobody. What fucking
Polka Dot Man,
Mirror Master.
I forgot about Mirror Master.
Like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Like,
has this devolved into us talking shit about Batman?
Batman's not a great superhero. They just write him amazing.
What about Wonder Woman's rogues? Who does she got? Cheetah?
No, this is no
gods and goddesses.
But yeah,
I mean, way more.
What about Superman? We got Goku.
Final thoughts, MattMatt, about Arkham Asylum.
7 out of 10. I'll give him that because, yeah, we are spoiled with City and the later ones, but it's all honestly,
but when you're right there.
But when you're right there, it's
you asked him.
Yeah.
Damn it, Liquid Gold Steve has a serious problem about this.
Shut up. So, you see a lot of this game and a lot of other games. Like I was saying earlier, you got new Spider-Man games where a lot of you have the collectibles out in the city, you got the side missions, you got everything like that. A lot of superhero games nowadays take away from that. A lot of games that focus on
like the Marvel series taking over the Guardians of the Galaxy platform.
That's movies. We're not talking about that right now. But like a lot of games that focus on hand-to-hand combat, like I was saying, like Mad Max. Straight up play Mad Max and do one skirmish with just the fists. 100% Arkham Asylum.
Okay. Good to know. I'm not playing Mad Max.
It's very much a good template for games nowadays. Like people will sit there and think about like, man, I want a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. That's like Arkham. You know, in between missions, I can choose different turtles and go out in the city and do all that. Like, I wouldn't mind something like that. You know,
Donatello with the staff.
I don't want to play that game. I don't want to play an open world Turtles game.
That'd be fun.
That doesn't sound fun.
That'd be fun.
Man, that sounds fun. That actually does.
I mean, like, the Turtles don't do no real investigating. You see what them dumbasses do. They just get into shit.
They beat ass.
That's it. You know, I mean, like no one knows how they hear about these crimes going on across town.
They're in the sewers.
Like, no one. Who's talking to them? Who's fucking talking to the Turtles?
Police scanner, Steven.
That's right.
Ham radio. We're on channel 15. breaker. Anyway, Steve.
9 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to the other games, yes, it's lacking because the other games improved on this template because you said it's a template.
It is a template.
But it's the template to all the other Arkham games. It just built off of it. So how great this came out and how many games have just kind of copied the combat system and the collectible system.
It's because it's easy.
And that is kind of easy.
It's fun.
But Arkham Asylum made it first. They were the fucking... Yeah, it's my shit.
And theirs work out perfectly. Again, there's no better way to feel like fucking Batman in a game. They hadn't done it yet.
They should call this shit Batman Simulator.
I mean, really, the combat and all feels like Batman.
And yes, I can't give it 10 out of 10 because there are some things that Arkham Asylum is lacking for. There's a lot of boss fights that kind of feel lackluster. Yes, but I still give 9 out of 10 on Arkham Asylum because it was a game that broke a lot of shit when it came out. I'm not going to say groundbreaking, but it
broke something.
Broke something.
Just not the ground.
It broke Gotham's pockets.
It punched the
broke
ground.
Somebody's femur.
It punched the ground and stopped it quick. That's how powerful it was.
If I beat somebody up,
I mean, overall,
and they die in a hospital 2 weeks later, did I still kill him?
Crush. Final
Sorry.
for you.
The final is it's a good game. There's nothing wrong with it. There's something wrong with people biting its dick and using its combat and mechanic systems and all. There's a problem with that, but that's not their fault. They made a great game. That, really lets you experience Batman. If I was a bigger Batman fan, this would be the game for me. I'm just not that big of a Batman guy in the first place. I have my issues with Bruce Wayne and friends. Bastard. But besides that, it's a good game. 7 out of 10, like I said earlier.
All right. You heard it from the Fighting Couch Potatoes. See you guys later.